Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Chakdash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. Okay, this brother Arakia, and this video I want to speak on the pagan origins of Mother's Day, because it was just yesterday, and here in Finland is a big thing. Okay, they really want to spoil the woman on this day, and I mean spoil, not as a rob, but to just overwhelm them with comfort and service, bringing the breakfast to bed and some, these kind of things, which, this Mother's Day comes and goes into Queen of Heaven worship. Okay, so pretty much you worshiping Satan, because you're on the left hand side, man. If you're all up in the spirit, okay. Yesterday I was out holding camp. You see people with flowers, bringing flowers to to their wives or mothers, and all these kind of things. Wanting to really honor this day, go to the restaurants or to have some dinners and be all up in that spirit. That's the problem. You're all up in this spirit of woman worship. Okay, believing in these feasts of this modern day calendar, which is going off, man. Okay, so this is a video from the Real Hebrew Israelite Instagram channel, so let's check it out, man.
They said Mother's Day is all about love and appreciation for mothers, flowers, and family. But what if it's something much older, much darker? Long before Mother's Day cards and brunches, ancient nations bowed to the Queen of Heaven, like Rhea, the Greek mother of the gods, and worshipped them during spring festivals. These weren't just cultural holidays. They were sacred rites of idolatry. Jeremiah 7, verse 18. The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger. Mother's Day isn't in the Bible, but you will find a warning. 1 Corinthians 10, verse 14. Wherefore, my beloved, flee from idolatry. Exodus 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. But today we still give reverence where it doesn't belong, to idols hidden behind tradition. They said Mother's Day
big
is
facts, big facts.
As far back in recorded history as the ancient Egyptians. Mothers traces as far back in recorded history as the ancient Egyptians. The Egyptian goddess Isis was considered the patron saint of women and children. She was revered among the Egyptians, who held an annual festival in her honor. Of all of the ancient Egyptian deities, her legend has survived the centuries and even crossed into other cultures. The Romans held a place for her in their temple and would have 3-day festivals. Most of the festival's dancers, musicians, and singers were all female. The Roman festival of Isis was celebrated to mark the beginning of winter, or before an important battle. The ancient Greeks used to honor mothers every spring. For 3 days, the Greeks would hold a festival filled with games, parades, food, and entertainment. The festival was dedicated to the mother goddess Rhea. In Greek mythology, Rhea was a Titan, the mother of many Greek gods, including Zeus. Legend has it that Rhea's husband Kronos was fearful of a prophecy that told of him being overthrown by one of his sons. Mothers traces as far back.
Okay, so there you had a little bit of the history. Then you have here Mother's Day is pagan. Yes, Mother's Day has pagan roots. The tradition of honoring Mother's dates back to the tradition of honoring mothers dates back to ancient Greek and Roman festivals, where Rhea, the mother of the gods, and Cybele, a mother goddess, were celebrated. While these early festivals were pagan, the modern day celebration has evolved to encompass all mothers, regardless of religious background. Okay, so they're trying to, mingle in these pagan holidays and normalize them, which has happened. If you look at the holidays of Easter, Christmas, so on and so forth, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day. All of this is some fucking bullcrap. And as it says here, Exodus 20:3, thou shalt have no other gods before me. And it also says to flee from idolatry. So we shouldn't go with the ways of the heathen. Like as it says here, Jeremiah 10:2, or 10:1, hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So are you learning the ways of the heathen by being in the spirit of celebrating these so like these pagan feasts, okay, which don't belong to us. Okay, it's just showing you the wickedness of this current world. In the kingdom, when Yahushua arrives and sets up the kingdom, we will not have no damn Mother's Day in the kingdom. We're not going to have some Easter. We're going to have Passover, but not Easter. We're not going to have Christmas. You're not going to see people, putting up Christmas trees, man. We're not going to have no damn Ramadan. We're not going to have, Thanksgiving, or any of these things, man. The New Year's Eve, January 1st. We're not going to have those things in the kingdom, okay? Because now the wicked are in rulership. So you're going to have these wicked things going on, but a righteousness, that's what we're waiting for, okay? The righteous kingdom, okay? So let's get some scriptures on righteousness. Let me see if there's some in New Testament. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna begin from the last one. Revelation 19:11, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he does judge and make war. It's Yahushua, so you can see he's righteous, man. 2 Peter 3:13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. That's right. That's right, that's what we're waiting for. Okay, 2 Peter 1:1. Simon Peter, a servant and an apostle of Yahushua HaMashiach, to them that have obtained like precious faith with us through the righteousness of Yahweh and our Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach. So you see, this current world is not in the spirit of righteousness, okay? This current world is evil, okay? But the righteousness is going to happen in the kingdom. First Timothy 6:11. But thou, O man of the Most High, flee these things, and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, and meekness. You see? So if you're in the spirit, you're not going to be, if you're in a righteous spirit, you're not going to be in the spirit of celebrating these, vain holidays, unholy days of this current kingdom, as the Mother's Day, for example. Okay, so this is it for the lesson. Shalom, on to the next one.